You're listening to the Dynamic Thinking Project podcast. This is episode 60, and today's topic is what is open-minded and how to become an open-minded person. Hey everyone, Adam Musalli here. Welcome to the Dynamic Thinking Project podcast. If this is your first time listening, then thanks for coming. This podcast is released every Friday, and show notes are found at the website, themindtechinstitute.com. It's all one word. Come back often and feel free to add this podcast to your favorite RSS feed or iTunes. You can also follow me on Twitter and Facebook. All links are in the show notes and website. And now, let's get started. Since this is episode 60, and as you know, that we take 1 week break after every 10 episodes, so next week will be a break and we'll be back after 2 weeks from now with new topics. And since our upcoming topics are going to be very controversial, I mean, we already had many controversial topics, but aren't like the ones we're gonna talk about. And of course, most of these topics are suggested by you, the listeners. We're gonna talk about things such as the soul, time traveling, the Mandela effect, and other deep thinking stuff. Of course, including personal development and the norm. However, all that won't do anything if you don't know how to listen with an open mind. Therefore, this topic is about what does it mean an open-minded person and how to become open-minded. This will serve you best, not only for this podcast, but also in your life in general. So with that being said, and let's get the intro out of the way. If you're interested in learning and becoming a fully qualified hypnotherapist, a neurolinguistic programming NLP practitioner or master practitioner, a life coach or a counselor, now you can study online. All you have to do is visit mti.edu.au or themindtechinstitute.com, and you'll find all these courses along with many other courses once you click on the online courses tab. All our diplomas and advanced diplomas are accredited and recognized worldwide, and for more information, all can be found online, themindtechinstitute.com. Going back to our main topic, and a lot of people talk about being open-minded, and here we're gonna talk about what does it mean to be open-minded and what is understanding and the difference between being open-minded and gullible or naive, and of course the price you pay for being open-minded. Let's start first with the word understanding. Our mind perceives the word understanding, and to understand someone or comprehend someone, but with a sense of a full or partial agreement with that someone. Here's an example. The word listening or listen or to listen and hearing are very similar, but they can be two different things. For example, when you say listen to me or hear me out, are you listening or can you even hear me? Sometimes someone can hear you, but not necessarily are listening to you or listening to what you're saying. But listening is when you hear someone analytically for the purpose of understanding or taking their words with the intent of taking in whatever you are hearing from them, or at least consider what they're saying. But hearing can be different. I can hear you talking till tomorrow, but it doesn't mean I took in a word you said seriously or even considered what you said. Maybe all I could hear is blah 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 blah. All that is NLP, by the way. It's an amazing set of skills to learn. In NLP especially, the style we teach is based on psychology and behavioral science, where everything you study has a practical application or a useful purpose, and that can help you to understand and dealing with situations where you turn your losses into opportunities, or at least minimize your risks and sometimes avoid them. By now, you know how effective words can be. So, as the word open-minded, there is a big difference between being open-minded and being able to listen, not only hear the person, and from also being gullible, who believes everything they see or hear, especially the news. So let's dive in what is open-minded person and how to become an open-minded person. Being open-minded is always on the top of the list when it comes to personal development and those who wants to become successful, of course. So being open-minded is on the top of the traits and habits you need to acquire to be a happy person and, of course, to be a successful person. Not being open-minded will lead to dwell in misery forever. This is because narrow-minded people are never be able to stretch their thoughts or their knowledge and ideas beyond a self-constructed boundary that prevents them from seeing varying aspects of a situation. They often view certain actions or situations with only one outcome and forget all the other possibilities that could be if only they let them be. So what makes open-minded people so open-minded? Here are common traits that are characteristic of the charismatic quality which open-minded people tend to possess. First, you should be willing to accept. The ability to think of things from various angles and viewpoints allows you to accept more. For example, you may not view a rebellious young person as a teenage waste of space, but rather someone who may be having difficulties dealing with inner turmoil or even the world around them. That doesn't mean you just let them be as they are and accept their ridiculous act and behavior. No. But at least will help you to see another side of the situation, because not everyone sees what you see and the way you see things as well as you hear and feel things. So accepting not necessarily means submitting, but accepting that might be another possibility for something else you might not be able to see or understand as comprehend. Number 2 is the willing to embrace changes. Open-minded people willing and able to embrace change with open arms because they see various possibilities and outcomes rather than judging it from only one angle or only one side of experience. For example, if you are working on a project and not getting the result or outcome that you're looking for or you planned for, then you'll be happy to change your strategies. In other words, not to be stubborn and think your way is the only way. So the willingness to embrace new changes should also be a priority rather than just being stubborn and doing the old way or your way is the only way. Number 3 is you should have a high level of curiosity. You see, open-minded people have a natural ability to want to know more about something. They tend not to judge an idea that may be presented to them with only what they know. They prefer to inquire, learn, and perhaps even discover new insight into something they were previously unaware of. You see, curiosity is what had put man in space, also discover what DNA and other great things, but stubbornness is always the best choice for close-minded and paranoid people, or even systems. Think about what happened to Galileo and other discoverers. They got killed or imprisoned by the church in the Dark Ages only because the paranoid system at that time lacked curiosity and wanted to keep the masses in the dark to further the church power over them. And as we always teach, never stop to wonder. So curiosity will lead to number 4, which is the willingness to try new things. Because open-minded people also love to try new things, you can call it curiosity or willingness to embrace change. They don't mind trying out new places for dinner or making new friends or even having a new hobby to look forward to. So basically, get out of your comfort zone, and we already have spoken about it before. You can go back and listen to the comfort zone episode. Number 5 is don't judge. Now, this is a tricky one. However, there are 2 types of judgments. There's good judgment and bad judgment. But here we are only talking about bad judgment, which it will lead to the lack of curiosity, lack of acceptance, and of course, stubbornness. Open-minded people are willing to listen to someone without judging them or jumping to conclusions before they have finished. In that sense, they make the best listeners, and always keep in mind that a great communicator is a great listener. And that will lead to number 6, which is to open to others' opinion. Now, of course, it's okay to be opinionated, and of course, everyone has an opinion, but viewing your opinion or opinions as the only right way is not the character of an open-minded person. And also, you should have a good understanding of the fact that you don't have to agree with everyone else and vice versa. Number 7, you should respect people's differences. Now, in my opinion, one of the key characteristics of an open-minded person that makes them lovable, respectable, and admirable personalities is that they are open to other people's values and differences, because differences are what makes everyone unique, which is a valuable quality. And that would lead us to number 8, don't label people. Also, this is a tricky one because in psychology, in counseling or life coaching, we do put labels, but you gotta understand that the labels we put aren't on people, but on the problems they have, and that would help us to fix that problem. So the labels we put is on the problem the person has, not on the person himself or herself. So don't put tags on people such as white, black, green, ugly, hot, or whatever. You need to have a good understanding of people's differences and respect them as best as you can. Number 9, live in the present. Try not to dwell in the past too much, because those mistakes or regrets were opportunities for betterment. I personally trust that everything happens for a reason, of course, for a certain extent. Don't be too gullible, because you should also know that things happen because there are consequences of your thoughts and actions. And also, try not to worry over the future too much, either, because there are so many possible outcomes you can choose from through your thoughts and actions. And when I say thoughts, I don't mean the new age positive thinking, but I mean effective strategies that can lead to effective outcome. Positive thinking is great, but it's not a plan. Number 10, turn problems into opportunities. Acknowledge the fact that every problem has a solution, or at least a different perspective that is better than the first. This enables you to see clearly when faced with difficult situations, and tackles problems without panicking too much about what went wrong. So to an open-minded person, problems are opportunities to learn what to fix. Lastly, you should know that you live in a vast, endless universe, and it's not the only universe, because there could be endless or better say multiverses too. Each universe also contains endless realities. We live in a three-dimensional world or reality which allows us to see only a very tiny window of what is reality out there. So don't close your mind because you can only see a tiny window in your third-dimensional world, because you'll be missing out on lots of things you're not aware of, even in your third-dimensional reality. You will be, as Einstein explained, a bedbug live in your mattress thinking the whole universe is your mattress. And without even knowing or being aware of the fact that the bedbug is so tiny, can't even see you with its own eyes, even if it tries to. So it's up to you how open-minded you choose to be, or how little and tiny eyes you choose to have. And certainly, we don't know what we don't know. And as I always say, never stop to wonder. I think we can end it at this for now, as we have covered the major point about this topic. And once again, if you would like to study and become a fully qualified hypnotherapist, neurolinguistic programming, NLP, life coach, or even a counselor, now you can study all that totally online. All you have to do is visit mti.edu.au or themindtechinstitute.com, and you will find all these courses along with many other courses once you click on the online courses tab. All our diplomas and advanced diplomas are accredited and recognized worldwide. And for more information, all can be found online, themindtechinstitute.com. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, you can email me. The email is on our website, themindtechinstitute.com. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you are listening to this podcast on YouTube. The Dynamic Thinking Project podcast is released every Friday. Until next time, take care and enjoy your weekend. This is Adam Muselli, signing out.